It's been 5 whole years since I originally fell in love with the public notice problem. It's not a glamorous one, and in fact, it's pretty niche, and most people have no idea what I'm talking about when I try to explain what Column is. That's because most people aren't like the users of our software who deal with this process every single day.
Public notice isn't generally something you know about until you need to. But 2 years ago, our original team of columnists became fascinated with the problem and potential of public notice, and we started digging in.
We studied everything we could about public notice. We got intimate with the highly manual inefficiencies of the process. We immersed ourselves in the experience of legals reps, newspaper staff, county clerks, and lawyers who interact with public notice regularly, whether it's filing a notice in their local paper or gluing together an affidavit to prove that a notice has run.
Since Column's launch, our public notice software has gone from nothing to being used in all 50 states, the UK, and Canada, and processes about 1 notice every minute. We've implemented our software for over 350 newspapers and partnered with state press associations representing 17 US states, with more coming on board each month.
Government agencies and legal services have gone from spending hours a week filing a single notice to minutes. Everyone from small town clerks to the Arizona Attorney General Office, to the City of Miami Planning Office, to the North Carolina Department of Health.
Our team has also grown, from 9 employees to more than 50, and we're globally distributed as a remote-first team across 5 continents.
This has been the path we've all been on together. It hasn't always been easy, and we're extraordinarily grateful to all our partners who have been along for the whole journey. To everyone who believes in legals and is dedicated to improving the process. To everyone who sees the potential of public notice and wants to expand the value of public information to make it more transparent and more accessible to all of us.
Our mission is to make public information systems more valuable, starting with public notice. And today, we want to share with you exactly how we're doing that.
Okay, we are live. My name is Leo Henschker, and I am the CTO of Column. We are delighted for you all to be joining us here for the second edition of The Brief. We have a ton of great product updates to share with you all. If you're tuning in today, maybe you just saw your first demo this past week, or you saw us at a conference, or maybe you saw our latest fundraising announcement. But hey, even if you've just been following our journey from the very beginning, we're incredibly excited to have you here. Column is a public benefit company on a mission to make public information systems more valuable, starting with public notice. We've built public notice software that publishing companies work with governments, law firms, and citizens, and helps them engage in the complicated and often cumbersome process of public notice. With Column, newspaper staff take back time on manual tasks, reduce operating costs, and improve their approach to customer experience to future-proof the public notice category for the next generation. Column comes equipped with tools that automate the affidavit process, streamline order entry, and simplify invoicing, and so much more. We are proud to have a platform used across all 50 states by hundreds of newspapers, with an incredible roster of publishing groups like Lee Enterprises, Ogden Newspapers, Southern California News Group, Adams Publishing Group, Cherry Road Media, WIC Communications, and many more. And we've also established a partner program for state press associations that provides free statewide public notice websites for their communities. And you're going to hear a lot more about that work with our press association partners today. So now that you're caught up, let's get into the fun stuff. We are joined by a couple different members across our technical teams to talk about product updates, new product programs, and more. So to kick things off here, I'm going to pass it over to Megan on our product team to speak about some of the important work we've done on our core public notice product this past quarter. Megan, take it away.
Thanks, Leo. My name is Megan, and as a product manager at Column, I rely on user feedback to understand which features will have the greatest benefit to the experience of working with Column. Today, I'm going to highlight some of the changes we've rolled out in response to what we've heard from publishers across the country. So in the last few months, we heard several requests from customers that surfaced a common theme. My notice was canceled, but I need to run it again. I need to publish the same notice in multiple newspapers. In response, we introduced a new feature, the option to duplicate a notice. In other words, to copy a notice and place it again without having to start from scratch. Publishers and advertisers have already shared how they're saving time by reducing the number of repetitive tasks. Additionally, customers have told us it's hard to keep track of outstanding payments in Column, so we made it easier to see the payment status for every notice. For advertisers, you're able to download a report of all notices and corresponding payments across a given time period. This report shows the newspaper you've placed in, the invoice number, the cost, payment date, or whether it's unpaid. And for our publishers, we want to make sure you have visibility into the status of each expected payment. We've added dynamic reports to identify which customers need a follow-up for overdue invoices. This report also tracks your monthly notice volume and how much each customer has spent over a given time frame to inform business decisions for your paper. So next, we'll talk about the activity log. The activity log is a central source of truth for every event that occurs in the lifetime of a notice, from when that notice is initiated to when an invoice is paid and when that affidavit becomes available. We introduced more granularity to the activity log so publishers can see more payment details associated with the notice. Now you can see a customer's payment method, whether they paid by ACH, check, or credit card, or whether a payment was received by the paper directly instead of going through Column. And you can also see when a payout has been initiated from Column to the paper. All right, to recap, we have saved time by duplicating notices and surfaced more detailed information in both the activity log and reports to make it easier to track payments. I want to say a huge thank you to the customers who have given us their time and user interviews to provide feedback. If there's anything you've noticed that can be improved, or you just want to share your current experience, please reach out to us. Now I'm going to hand it over to Akash to share exciting news about our affidavit automation tool.
Thanks, Megan. Hey everyone, I'm Akash, and I've been working on building out our automated affidavits tool. If you were with us at the brief in May, you heard us introduce our pilot program for our new affidavit automation tool. Since then, we've processed hundreds of affidavits across multiple jurisdictions. We've tested, learned, and refined the tool. And today, I'm pleased to announce that we're now expanding the availability of this new service to more publishers. Our goal is for you to focus your time on other tasks, not affidavits. So what does this mean? Well, it's simple. Column fully absorbs the process of validating notices that have run in your paper and notarizing the required legal documents. We understand that affidavits can be time sensitive, especially for lawyers and government agencies. Your customers can't be left waiting, which is why we prioritize cutting down the turnaround time to just 2 business days. If the notice runs in the Monday paper, it'll be in the advertiser's hands by Wednesday morning. If you're interested in reading a case study, check out our blog to read about the success of our work with Restoration News Media. For publishers that work in multiple states, managing the laws in different jurisdictions can be difficult, but we've done the work to get you covered. Column's legal team has certified our process in a number of states and are working quickly to expand to all 50. If you're interested in our tool, our legal team will ensure that our process is compliant with the laws in your jurisdiction. To cover the cost of this new service, we're charging a $5 per document fee to the individual. That said, we're remaining committed to offering this service we're committed to offering this new feature at no cost to publishers. Whether you process thousands of affidavits every week or just a few per month, we want to work with you. Please fill out the form at the end of today's events, and we'll be in touch about how you can begin automating your affidavits. Next, I'm going to pass it over to Casey to speak about Column's R&D program.
Hi, I'm Casey, and I'm an associate product manager on Column's R&D team. As Leo mentioned at the beginning of today's event, Column's mission is to make public information systems more valuable, starting with public notice. Today, I'm going to share some new work that we're doing to help bring that mission into reality. So public notice is unique in that for years, it's been seen as a static category of classifieds. But at Column, we believe it can be so much more, and here's why. The act of submitting a public notice is often just one transaction within a larger process. For example, a notice to creditors is just one step in the broader probate process, and a request for proposal notice is one step required within the procurement process. And publishers sit at the center of this. So we're excited to formally introduce the Column R&D program. This program is designed to test products that allow publishers to be the link between folks placing notices and additional services that can help them with other steps of the process they need to complete. These products will open up new streams of revenue for publishers who use Column and allow publishers to provide additional benefits to their customers beyond just placing a public notice. And importantly, we believe it can dramatically increase the benefits of submitting notices through Column for governments, businesses, and law firms. Today, I'm incredibly excited to announce that we're launching beta access to our first R&D pilot program on procurement. This pilot is targeted at helping publishers deliver a new experience for their government users who oversee the procurement process. So how will this pilot program work? Well, the good news is for publishers that participate, no extra work is required for you or your staff. From within the Column platform, the government agencies and officials that place a request for proposal notice with your publications will also have the option to request help with additional steps of that procurement process, including outreach to and analysis of a wide network of vendors and producing documentation that abides by city-specific requirements. And this pilot program is free for you and your customers. To share in our excitement about this new pilot, I'd like to introduce Andrew Watkins. He's the COO of Marketplace.city, an organization that will be working with Column to help deliver these additional procurement services.
Hi, I'm Andrew Watkins, co-founder and chief operating officer of Marketplace.city. Marketplace.city is a platform that helps state and local governments source, evaluate, and procure technology products and services, as well as other complex categories. So we're really excited to partner with Column because we're both growing companies that I think are seeking to simplify critical but necessary public sector processes that allow governments to better connect to their communities. So public notice and public procurement are both really important parts of engaging community and building trust, because transparency is an expectation of our government. But those processes both have to be a lot easier and more efficient to meet residents and businesses where they are and how they're consuming data today. And we're really excited that we can work together to better achieve those results for our customers.
We are super excited about this partnership. If you would like to join us and get access to this exciting pilot program, fill out the form at the end of today's event to join Column as an R&D beta tester. And now I'd like to hand it back to Leo, Column CTO, to discuss the Column API and our work with state press associations.
Okay, I am back. It wouldn't be the brief if we didn't talk about new functionality that Column is enabling for its press association partners. Last time we talked about enhancements to our statewide websites, and today we want to focus on the launch earlier this month of Column's API. 10 years ago, putting up a statewide public notice website was a really, really meaningful step forward in the strategy taken to insulate public notice from legislative threats. And that's no longer the case in the way that it once was. Websites alone, we believe, are no longer effective in that effort. And hey, we don't shy away from opinions here at Column, and we strongly believe that enabling a public API of your statewide public notice website should be a critical part of any modern press association's advocacy strategy, and really is the vital next step in demonstrating the value that is created by publishing public notices. So as a quick crash course, an API stands for Application Programming Interface, and think of it as the way that two computers talk to each other through requests and responses without the need for a person in the middle. And right now, individuals can go to statewide public notice websites and manually search for what they need for a particular keyword. But with an API, the information on these statewide sites can be requested and delivered programmatically. And so importantly, why do we believe that this matters so much is really because many of the people who read and engage with statewide public notice websites aren't just people, but they're also law firms subscribing to alerts, businesses searching for RFPs, and governments monitoring for timely publication. And the existing search and alert functionality that exists on public notice websites today is just insufficient to meet those needs. So by enabling an API on your public notice website, these organizations can engage with important information in the same way that they engage with every other information source in 2022, which is from computer to computer via API. So for example, instead of requiring a paralegal sign up every single time they want to track a keyword alert related to a case number to search and create a new email alert in your statewide public notice website. If you have an API, they could do this directly through their case management system. And we really believe that press associations are in a position to kind of flip the script here and build powerful new champions with government agencies and the legal sector by delivering this information in this new API format that actually meets their needs where they are today. Our teams create a lot of extensive documentation. I think that's going to show up on this side right over here, about what it means to set up a public notice API. And we're working with existing members of our partner program to try to make that happen and see how it can be a part of their strategy. If you are interested in working with us to kind of craft outreach within your state, please don't forget to fill out information at the end of this event or reach out to anyone on the Column team, and we'd be happy to help. But with that, I'm going to hand it over to Jake Seaton, Column's founder and CEO, to talk a little bit more about our mission.
All right, thanks, Leo. And hey, everyone, I'm Jake Seaton. I'm the founder and CEO of Column. As you've heard, Column is a public benefit company and is actually in the process of becoming a certified B Corp. And I often get asked, what that means and how we're different from a typical for-profit or nonprofit business. You may actually know about more B Corps and PBCs than you realize, from environmentally conscious ice cream like Ben & Jerry's to alternative meat products like Impossible Burger, to even publicly traded insurance software companies like Lemon. These are all amazing businesses that through their growth and success also sought to push the world forward in some key way. Being a public benefit company simply means that Column has a charter purpose, our mission statement, which obligates us to build products and design our business in pursuit of some public benefit. With how critical public notice is for government transparency and the distribution of public information more broadly, we see the creation of modern software systems and services for the public notice process as something that's inherently in the public benefit. That means that scaling our first product is the pivotal first step toward that mission of making public information systems more valuable, and is going to allow us to continue ramping up our investment in some of the new directions that you've heard about today. Early on, we realized that the most successful version of Column, financial or otherwise, would be the one that prioritized our mission and our stakeholders above everything else. And so we wanted to find a scalable way of soliciting continuous feedback and direction from those stakeholders as we look to expand the value that public notice can bring to our partner program that I'm excited to announce here in the second edition of the brief. We're going to be convening Column advisory boards in each state, comprised of our stakeholders, the publishers and users of our software that we are chartered to serve. These state-by-state advisory boards will help steer our focus and direct our resources toward the most pressing problems that are facing public notice in that state. In periodic meetings, we will discuss pending legislation, brainstorm new technologies that Column may build, and solicit feedback on our work to drive innovation and public notice in that state. So to give a concrete example, we actually already started this past summer in a state where we process a significant amount of notices that has been a really important testing ground for us in the product development process. So I want to give a quick shout out to our first cohort of advisors from the great state of North Carolina. You heard from Kevin Zepazauer at Restoration News Media in the last brief, who was a beta tester for our affidavit service. And he's going to be joined by Corey Champion of Champion Media and Sandra Hurley at the Mount Airy News as the first North Carolina advisory board for Column. Importantly, we've sought to represent a wide variety of perspectives and folks at all stages of the onboarding process, including those who haven't started working with Column or even those who've decided not to for some reason. So if you're watching this, we'd really love to talk to you about how you might get involved. If you're interested in joining the conversation in your state or learning more about anything you heard about today, please don't hesitate to reach out or visit the page linked below for more details. That's the brief. See you next time.